Happy Friday, everyone. We wanted to welcome you to our first NOONtrition of the fall semester. Basic Needs, Health Education and Promotion in Housing and Residential Life are happy to partner to bring you a live food demonstration based on healthy, easy, and affordable meals and snacks. Today, we are lucky enough to have a student assistant joining us from Campus Recreation, Dominic Borelli. Dominic, we're excited to have you joining us today to prepare eggs 3 ways. Take it away.
All right, well, thank you everybody for letting me be here. Like Zach was saying, my name is Dominic Borelli and I work on campus in the campus recreation department. So it's a far part of campus. Most people don't go there because it's so far, it's a little bit of a walk. But I'm also a student here on campus. I'm going to my 5th year. I'm a psychology and Spanish major, but also I'm a foodie. So I love to cook. So when they reached out to me, I was honestly really excited. I told my boss, yes, I want to do this because I just love to cook and now I get to make you guys watch it too. So what's not to love about that? So first, what we're gonna start off with today, we're gonna do eggs 3 different ways. I believe somebody else was saying that earlier. So we're gonna do omelet in a mug. So if you're going to class in the morning or work in the morning, don't have time to get the oven going, everything, you just throw everything in a mug. It takes literally just like a minute to make, super easy. Hard-boiled eggs in the oven. So if you don't want to start the stove up, boil some water because the steam could be a little dangerous sometimes. That's a really easy method of doing it also. And then I'm really excited for the veggie and egg wraps. So pretty much like a little breakfast burrito. So let's start off with the hard-boiled eggs, just because that one, I'm not gonna start the oven. It's gonna really heat up the dorm in here, and I already sweat a lot. So pretty much it's also the most easiest. So you're gonna preheat your oven to 325 and give it about 5 to 10 minutes to preheat all the way, just because it doesn't always start up right away. If you put the eggs right when you turn on the oven, then they might be soft boiled instead of hard boiled. And if you like the yolk a little runny, go for it. But if not, wait a little bit. So we're gonna get our eggs. I got my eggs right here. And where did I put that pan? I literally just had it, but I'll use a plate as reference. So I'm actually gonna turn it on. So pretty much what you do wanna use for this is a cupcake tin. So the cupcake tin will definitely hold the egg a lot better so it's not rolling around the oven, and also help it cook more evenly. But just for demonstration, we'll go ahead and use a plate. So I'm just gonna put 1 egg so I can hold it and not drop it and make a mess on the floor right when I start my video. So we're gonna make sure our oven's all preheated to 325, have our egg and our cupcake tin, and then go ahead and put her in. Oh, I literally put the pan in here. That's really awkward, my bad. But you're gonna put it in here, set a timer for 15 minutes. You can use your phone for a timer if you want. Pull it out, and then ta-da, you got some hard-boiled eggs. How did I pull out 2 when I put 1 in? Well, that's a secret, bud. Anyway, what you want to do right away is place these eggs right when you take them out into a cup or a bowl of ice water. So by doing so, this will definitely help them peel a lot easier. It'll help the skin, and because there's a membrane on the inside of the egg shell and the shell, it'll help it all pull away really easily, just so it's not a mess. Because I'm guilty of trying to break it, roll it, little eggshells get everywhere. It just makes it so much easier if you put them in ice water for a few minutes right afterwards, and you're good. And also the recipes, I believe they could probably be found on the Instagram page. So if you do want to follow along, or if you just want to check it out after the video, watch it later, you can do that as well. So we have our hard-boiled eggs. We eat them however you want. I like slicing them up, putting some tapatio on them, salt and pepper. It's a quick, easy meal. You cannot go wrong with hard-boiled eggs. So next is gonna get a little more complicated, but a lot more fun for me. So we're gonna make our little omelet in a cup. So the recipe, it shows that you can use a fork or a spoon to go ahead and scramble, stir, whisk up the eggs. And I'll show you how to do that, but then I'll show you the benefits of using a whisk. I brought this little whisk from home. You can get them pretty much anywhere, Target, Walmart, Ross, TJ Maxx. I was at TJ Maxx this morning, Ross this morning. So you could never not find what you need at Ross or TJ Maxx. So for this recipe, you're gonna wanna use 3, actually it calls for 1 egg, so I'm sorry. Let me get a smaller bowl. Oh, a measuring cup. Sorry, super awkward. So this one, we'll use this. Let me rinse her out a little bit. All right, since y'all aren't gonna be eating this, it's okay. Don't gotta worry about that. We're gonna go ahead and break open our egg. Put her in the, whatever you're using, mug, measuring cup, bowl, whatever it is. Disregard the eggshell. And then you're going to add, you can add milk or water. It'll give it some more volume to it. If you do add milk, I usually recommend milk, unless you're lactose intolerant, of course. But milk will help it be more fluffy and airy. So it's kind of a better texture. But I don't have milk, so I'll just use water for the example. And on the recipe, it says use 2 tablespoons of milk or water. So I actually have a little measuring cup that measures out 2 tablespoons. So I'll measure that out. Oh, I'm gonna spill some, I hope. Nah, anyway, bada bing. 2 tablespoons of water in here. We got our egg. We're just gonna go ahead and start whisking it. So we'll use the fork first. So sometimes if you've seen on cooking shows, Gordon Ramsay, Master Chef, whatever it is, they kind of hold at an angle and just kind of go back and forth. That'll help put air, incorporate air, as they say, into the mixture. Going, doesn't have to be nothing crazy. But once you start seeing bubbles, that's kind of like a good consistency because there's air in it. So when it cooks, it'll be nice and fluffy. So it's kind of nice and incorporated, but now I'm going to show you how I like to do it with a whisk. It's kind of, what's the term? It's not the most traditional method. Have you ever seen an egg beater, that like old machine? Now people have the standing mixers, but the egg beaters with like the 2 and you just hold it and just like that. I do that with my hands. So I literally just do this back and forth. And then you get more bubbles, so you're incorporating more air into the mixture. If you do have milk, it'll be a lot more fluffier. And like the more the texture I like, but if you're lactose, it's not worth it. Once you have the little lactose pills, then go for it. So we got our egg mixture going. I'm gonna go ahead and put this aside. I'll just set it there. And now we're gonna slice up our veggies. And to be honest, I'm gonna put my glasses on. Usually there's a little glare when I'm on like recording, so I had to take them off, but I don't wanna put my finger off. I don't know if the health center is open today for sewing fingers back on, so I don't wanna risk that. So for our omelet in a cup, you're gonna wanna get any of your vegetables you wish. I already washed these, so don't worry about it. We're gonna use spinach. Always eat your fiber, people. My doctor told me that one of the biggest like deficiencies people have is fiber. So always put spinach in everything. Most of the time you can't even taste it, to be honest, so good. We're gonna put some onion because onion just adds some good flavor. You could use the red onions, the white onions, the little shallots. I've actually never cut one of those, but those ones, they always use them on TV. We got red or green bell pepper. For this one, I'll use red just to kind of give some color to it. So I'll put the green one aside right here. Let me just kind of clean up my cooking area. And then some broccoli. You can use broccoli if you want. It'll definitely add some nice volume to it. And broccoli is very healthy for you too. You get some vitamin A. There's actually a lot of vitamin C, just as much as in orange. A lot of people don't realize that. You could probably fact check me on that. I might be wrong, but I thought I saw that on Instagram. You know, Instagram's not always the most accurate source of information. But let's start with our bell pepper. So we're gonna get a sharp kitchen knife. I already washed this off too. And then what you're gonna do is find where the stem is, and you're just gonna place it upside down. Ooh, all right, we're good. So you're gonna place it upside down so the stem is down on the cutting board. Typically, you do want to use a cutting board. I mean, if you have like a granite countertop, go for it. But linoleum could scratch, and then in scratches you get bacteria growing, and you don't want that in your house, especially your kitchen. Don't typically cut on your plates, especially glass plates, because they can break really easy. The impact of like the knife, like slicing down to it, could shatter. You don't want to cut yourself, all that good stuff. So wood or plastic cutting board, you're good. So like I said, stem down, and you're gonna go ahead and just slice. You can slice all the way down, like I just did, straight through it, or you can go all the way around and just pull out the core. So I'm actually gonna go over the garbage can so I don't get seeds everywhere. I'm just gonna pull out all the little seeds and the stem and all the veins. I mean, the veins don't really matter. They don't have spice like a regular pepper. All right, I'm gonna place this aside for our veggie wraps. So now what you're going to do, you can cut them however you want. It's probably a little safer to cut it upside down so the inside is down below. So you're just gonna slice. Actually, I'm gonna move it closer for you guys. And then, like I said, I got this tripod from Ross or TJ Maxx, so it's not the best. It's kind of shaky. Oh, there we go. Beautiful. So you're gonna get it like this. Oh, it's actually a really sharp knife. Oh, that makes my life so much easier. And just slice along. And if you put your fingers like this, not like this, if your knife does slip, you're not gonna cut your fingertips. So don't do what I did and it's like that. So you're gonna have your fingers like this. But then it kind of gets falling like that. So if you do flip it upside down, sometimes a little easier. So I'll just do that for this. It's a little faster too. And since this is a mug, I don't think I'm going to be able to fit all of this, but I might as well cut the rest for the veggie scramble as well. I'm not doing the most even slices here, so if Gordon Ramsay ends up watching this, he'll probably yell at me, call me an idiot sandwich, or whatever he does. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these, get them nice and bunched together, get them nice and tight. There we go. Now I'm just gonna grab them really tight, but I'm gonna keep my fingertips away and just go to town slicing them. You're gonna put enough pressure to hold them, but not enough pressure to, if your knife slips, it could startle you and then your hand will slip and you cut your finger. So you just want to be doing just enough, or you can even cut half at a time, but I don't know if we're short on time here or anything. So I'm just going to go for all of it, to be honest. My fingertip was right there. Don't judge me. I could cut an onion a lot better than bell pepper. So yeah, don't judge me. Okay, we got our bell pepper nice and sliced. Now we're going to get a nice little handful of spinach. Since a mug isn't the biggest, I'll just get a little handful. And if you've ever cut cilantro, it's pretty much the same thing. You want to kind of bunch it up and hold it tight, or else the leaves don't really cut too well. So I got a little bunch like this, and then I'm gonna turn my fingertips just so I don't cut myself, and literally just cut like so, like they do in the TV. If somebody from dining hall is like watching this, you're probably gonna be like, "You're gonna cut your finger," but I got insurance now, so I'm good. I literally just talk to myself all the time. So this is not even like normal. At my other job, I work in an office alone. I don't have another coworker. So I literally just talk to myself. I work in a gym also. So my members probably think I'm crazy, but it's okay. I know who I am and I know I'm crazy. All right. I'm going to go ahead and get our mug ready. I got a little bigger one for the demonstration. You do want to grease it just so the egg does not stick. That just makes a mess. You can use whatever type of oil you like. I'm going to get some cooking spray right now, just because it's more convenient. So give me a second. All right, so we got our Pam cooking spray. Let's see, this is canola oil blend. Honestly, the best oil I always recommend is olive oil. Olive oil has very healthy fats for you. A lot of these other oils, I'm not too sure with canola, to be honest, but like vegetable oil, a lot of other ones are very highly processed. And especially when you get them in the spray form, they could put aerosols in it, so to make it spray. It just depends. I mean, honestly, if aerosols were super bad for you, it probably wouldn't be unsafe, but then again, you never know. So if you want to stay away from that, just use olive oil. You put some olive oil on a paper towel and just rub it on the inside. I'm just going to do this. Just go ahead and spray. Bada bing, get it nice and coated. Put that down. And then I'm going to go ahead and get my egg mixture. I wonder if it fluffs up a lot because, oh yeah, it will be good. Perfect. I'm going to go ahead and get my little spatula. Where did I put that? I literally just had that. Here it is. Just to scoop it up a little nicer. Scoop that in there. I don't want to do too much just because it is a small mug. And then you're going to get some salt and pepper. So just for some seasoning, garlic salt. This little seasoning tray you guys gave me is honestly the coolest thing ever. Cayenne. I really like spice, so I'm gonna add some cayenne pepper. I don't know how to do this, to be honest. Maybe we'll do it. Will anything come out? No, but pretend it came out. So you put whatever seasonings you want, to be honest. Salt and pepper is a must-have, or else you'll just be tasting like egg. And to me, honestly, eggs make me gag, but I also love them. I literally eat them every day of my life, but at the same time, I don't want to eat them anymore. So it's a hard struggle out here. But you can put garlic, fresh garlic. I love cooking with fresh garlic. It gives it such a good flavor. It really gives a good aroma. And then another note, I don't think I told you guys, when you are beating the eggs, don't salt them until after they're done cooking. This is a tip if you're doing scrambled eggs, because the salt kind of takes away the air from them. It'll make them more dense. So if you salt the scrambled eggs after you're done cooking, then they'll stay more fluffy. So if you like whisk them and then put salt, not the best. I still do it, just I'm lazy sometimes and I forget, but it's honestly better. So, well, that's what Gordon Ramsay says anyway. But yeah, salt and pepper it. Go ahead and stir her together. I didn't put onion, you noticed. But I'm going to show you guys how to cut an onion. It's honestly one of my favorite things. So, bada bing, we got our mug. Where's the microwave? Oh, tee. Let me go ahead with my laptop. You're going to get your mug, put it in the microwave. So whatever setting is already preset, sometimes microwaves, like instructions on a microwave will say like, preset it to power level 4. And I'm like, I don't know how to change the power level. I just thought you just put the time and that was it. But this recipe is great because it literally just takes a minute. If it is a little more runny, then you could put it for a few seconds more. I'd recommend going like lower, like start with 10 to 15 seconds. But if you have to go up to 30 seconds, that's fine too. Let's do a minute. Perfect. So that's going. If you do overcook your eggs, I mean, it's not going to make them bad, but they're a little more dense, which for some people, that's not their cup of tea. It's their cup of eggs. Like what I did. I'm dumb. I'm sorry. But yeah, we already got half our vegetables cut for the next dish, which should be the fun one. And the next one, honestly, I do make breakfast burritos a lot. So I think this one's like going to go really well, to be honest. We're going to do the same method. We're going to whisk it with a whisk. I already showed you guys the fork. I kind of told you guys the difference. So you have the knowledge so you can make your own decision for yourself. I'm going to go ahead and use a bigger bowl since we will use more eggs just to get it nice and aerated. Let me get our ingredients ready. So this one you will need to use a stove. I was kind of unsure on how this stove works. It looks like a gas stove, but it's electric, which is good because I've only used the gas stove a little bit before. So I was like, oh, I'm not going to be able to turn it on. All right, let's go ahead and get our eggs going. Oh, you hear that? That's the microwave. Our eggs are done. Wow. All right, let's take a look. Ooh, so she is still a little watered. So we're just going to put her in for like, honestly, it's pretty watery. Like, let's take a look. I don't know what I did. Is it good? There we go. All right, so you can see there's a lot of liquid left over. So we're going to put it in. I'm going to say, let's make an executive order for 15 seconds. Shouldn't be too much since it is pretty watery, but you never know. Okay. 15. Also, fun fact about eggs. Eggs have, on average, 7 grams of protein. So if you're trying to get your protein intake for the day, then that's honestly a great way. Get 3 eggs, you got 20 grams of protein. Also, another little fun fact about eggs is they make great binding for baking. So I'm somebody who does a lot of, I used to do a lot of baking. Ooh, we're getting there. All right, let's look better. Oh, there goes the phone. Almost fell in the eggs. All right, so it's a little better. It's almost there. I promise it's almost there. And you can also make the decision for yourself. I didn't pre-cook the vegetables, so they will be more firm, but I do like my like bell peppers usually to be a little on the firmer side anyway, but otherwise you can saute them on the stove. Let's see, 115. Saute them on the stove. Let me tilt myself up a little bit. You could use fresh garlic, onion, just get it all sauteed. And honestly, that brings out a lot more flavor. You'll probably enjoy it a lot more. So I would recommend doing that. But I just, honestly, I don't know how much time we have, so I don't want to be taking up a lot of time. All right, we're good, I think. Let's take a look. Sorry, my tripod is like not the best. All right, look at her. Cooked, nice and good. I'm not gonna try it right now just because I brushed my teeth before coming here, so I have that toothpaste like flavor in my mouth. But let's get a little texture shot. Ooh, this is good. All right, let's tilt her down. So it is a little, actually no, there's like no water left. Wow, this is honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, my first time ever making a cup like of eggs. Oh my gosh, what the heck? This ingredient list is accurate. So then you can go ahead and throw some tapatio on, some ketchup. I like ketchup with my eggs, to be honest. But I like some spice, sriracha. Oh, I love sriracha sauce too. So honestly, whatever you guys want, because everybody's flavor is different. You can use different vegetables. Throw some potatoes in there. Great way right there to get some good flavor out of it. Some cheese. I think I did forget to put the cheese in, to be honest. But we'll do that for the wrap. I will not miss it for the wrap, I promise. Megan, Danielle, don't fire me, please. All right, so we're gonna move on from our beautiful omelet. Actually, it's not even an omelet because there's no cheese, but our beautiful egg in a cup and go to the wrap. Let me put you guys back on the window sill. So for our wrap, I actually do have these handy dandy little recipe cards here. So for the wrap, you're gonna need some non-cook cooking spray, non-stick cooking spray, or the oil of your choice. Like I said, I prefer olive oil. 1 cup of mixed vegetables. You use fresh or frozen. We got some fresh ones here. I'm gonna slice up the onion for sure. I really want to show people how to cut an onion. My parents, I love them, but they are so bad at cutting onions. They leave all these little odds and ends. And I always tell them, like, let me show you. Like, no, I've been doing this my whole life. I'm like, okay, mom, whatever. Then you're gonna need some tortillas. I got some flour ones, some extra fiber. Like I said, fiber is very important, everybody. And then some cheese. So we are definitely gonna use the cheese for this one. All right, so first up, we're gonna go ahead and get our eggs into a bowl. This recipe calls for 4 eggs. Wow, all right, 4 eggs, that's a lot, that's good. We got 1. I don't know how to cut them. Open them with 1 hand, unfortunately. I'll get it right next time for you guys, so that'd be kind of cool, but I just don't want to make a mess. Like this little dorm room is so nice, I don't want to mess it up. 3. And then, oh, I messed that one up. 4. Oops. And if you get an eggshell, fun tip. If you want, so I did get an eggshell in here. You could actually, no, it's moving, but you can use the eggshell to pick it up because the eggshell has it's like a thin lip. So if you use a spoon, sometimes the membranes and like the egg yolk will kind of reject the spoon, and like it's like a magnet, it goes away. So an eggshell is very easy to like just go ahead and pick it up. 1 second, bada bing, eggshell out. Gonna throw these away. Rinse my hands off real quick. Nobody likes egg hands. And then I'm gonna throw some water for some more volume. Just a little bit. I'm just eyeballing that one. I pretty much just eyeball everything. Then smash up the yolks. Go ahead and whisk them up. Nice till they're incorporated. I'm gonna do my little egg beater method I showed you guys. So just shake, 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 shake. If you guys are playing music, what are you playing? Drop it down in the description below. All right, so we got our eggs nice and incorporated. I should have started the stove. That was definitely my bad. So we're gonna go ahead and start our stove. We got a nice pan here, non-stick, hopefully. And then we're gonna go ahead. This is the rear, the front. I could put it to medium. It heats up a little faster. And then you're not gonna you're not gonna burn the bottom of this because these can warp if you get it too hot. So don't do that. So we're gonna put a little bit of oil. It says for non-cooked cooking spray, but for eggs, when I scramble them up, I do like to get oil. Just a little bit because it does spread pretty evenly. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and slice up that onion for you guys. Let me go ahead and get my little slicing space here. I'm going to use a tray to slice because the cutting board currently has some vegetables on it. So I'm going to bring you guys for a little ride too. Right. Okay, lighting's not too bad. So with your onion, I learned this from Gordon Ramsay himself via YouTube. So not in person, of course. So you're going to get it. You want it whichever way, but you want it kind of be up like this. And then you're going to go ahead, get your knife, hold it on either side very firmly so you don't slice your fingers off, and just go down the side, roll with it, and just go straight through the middle. So that way it keeps everything intact. Because if you cut it like long ways like this, then each layer could kind of like start to peel away from each other and just make a mess. It's hard to store that. So if you just have this way, it's a lot easier. And they don't go as bad as fast because the roots are so connected. Fun fact. Now I'm going to go ahead and get the top of it. So we have where everything kind of folds together at the top. Slice that off. Actually, I don't think I can cut on this. Ooh, that's awkward. I'll be gentle, I promise, Megan. So now we have all this. So now you can just honestly just peel away the first one. I like to peel away the top 2 layers just because I hate when you like bite into an onion. Well, not a whole onion, but like bite an onion in the food and it's like the little skin, like that just like makes me not want to eat anymore. It's just not a good time. So get these. They're all biodegradable. So if you do have compost or if you have animals at your house, I live on a farm, so we give them to our chickens, our sheep, all that stuff. It's a great way to reduce some waste. Oh, this is getting hot actually. I'm gonna lower this. Once the oil starts moving like water, then it's heated up. So now we're gonna go ahead and get our onion. We have it this way. And I'm not gonna use all the onion, of course, because I just need one little burrito. So we're gonna do little slices to about the midway point. I'm left-handed, so I'm gonna turn you guys. a little better. So since I'm left-handed, this might be better. So slice this way, go down the middle to the bottom. You can make them big, like each little section. You kind of see how I did that. You can make them wide as you want or small as you want. So if you're gonna dice them up for really small things, you can do them small as you want and they won't start falling apart on you. Or if you want them bigger for slices like in a fajita or whatever, you could do that too. So we're just gonna slice. I'm honestly very impressed with this knife. I was not expecting. I honestly thought I was gonna be cutting an onion with a butter knife, and I was really worried. I was like, should I grab my own knife? Then I'm like, I would get arrested by UPD, so probably shouldn't. So it's good I didn't. All right, keep slicing. If you do it this way, not like my parents, I promise you, Gordon Ramsay will not yell at you. He will not haunt you in your dreams. He will not be your sleep paralysis demon. So it's good. All right, so we got it all sliced up. Another little method you can do to make it more diced up is slice horizontally. So this one, be a little more careful, but since you're not going all the way through, you really are at a very low risk of cutting yourself. But you're gonna go ahead and slice horizontally. It's kind of hard with the cooking, this thing, but literally just like this. And you can do this 2 or 3 times and it'll literally just make the dicing really smaller. You can already kind of see they've already started falling apart, so it's good. So now we're just gonna slice down. So like I said, fingers in, fingertips in, and just slice down like this. And oh, I'm starting to cry. The onions are really getting to me right now. This is embarrassing. I did wash my hands before, I promise. All right. Now we got our onion all diced up. Look how beautiful that is, minus that one. Like literally perfectly diced. All right, I'm gonna bring it over to the stove and we're gonna saute these bad boys. Let me raise you up a little bit. Beautiful. So now we're gonna saute them. You're gonna hear it sizzle. Ooh, that's a good sizzle. So onions tend to cook pretty fast, but I'm gonna get them kind of caramelized. I'm gonna treat you guys good. I'm gonna get them caramelized. So we're gonna go ahead and let them cook a little longer. It won't be too long, I promise, before we add the bell pepper. Because since bell pepper is bigger and has more volume, it will take a little bit longer to cook. Same with the broccoli. Usually whenever I cook broccoli at home, I microwave it for like 30, 45 minutes to soften it up a little bit, just so it speeds up the cooking process on here. So let's go ahead and do that, to be honest. I hate to be honest a lot, I'm sorry. Ever since COVID, I've been on TikTok a lot, so it's really bad for my brain. All right, got some good florets going right here. Not sponsored by TikTok. No. And I'm gonna cut off the stalk a little bit, get it nice and short, and then you can just slice them. I'm gonna use this so you can see a little better. Slice them down. Be careful, tuck the fingertips like so. All right, so the little, I used to think of like, I mean, they do look like mini trees. So they kind of like come off a little bit, which is fine. That's kind of how you want them. It'll kind of help them cook faster too. Bada bing. I'll leave that one out. But yeah, now we got all our veggies ready. So I'm gonna let these saute a little bit longer. And if you really want to spice up your caramelized onions, not the healthiest, but you could literally just add sugar, not a lot, just a little bit, and that'll caramelize the sugar, and then it helps to bring the sugars out of the onion as well. And oof, it's just a game changer. I usually do that with white onions if I'm making like the ballpark style like Polish dogs. Like it's really good option you can do. So once the onions get kind of translucent is when you're gonna go ahead and say, okay, they're probably cooked. So that's when I'll add the bell pepper because they're gonna keep cooking, keep kind of caramelizing a bit, which is what we want. So they're about, I can actually put you guys on the stove because nothing else is on yet. Ooh, all right, go see, perfect. Beautiful. All right, I can go a little bit longer, just a second or two. Yeah, the stove works really good. Oh my gosh, these dorm kids, they have no idea what good stuff they have in here. All right, so we're gonna put our bell peppers in here. Just gonna get these, sprinkle them in. I got some spinach in there as well, but not intentionally because the spinach is really, can you even hear me good right now? Because the sizzle? You can hear me? Yeah, all right, perfect, Danielle. So the spinach will reduce really fast since it's literally just a leaf. The water is gonna evaporate really fast and it'll shrink up. So that's why you'll wanna put that last because it cooks really fast. Bell peppers and onions, you typically wanna do first. If you have mushrooms, I love cooking with mushrooms too. Put that towards the end too, just so there is a high water content. So they will kind of shrivel up, look kind of weird, and probably get a little burned as well. So you kind of want to do that one last as well. Ooh, how nice is this? So on the ingredient, like the little sheet you guys will get if you do get one, the directions will say to cook vegetables until tender, so about 5 minutes. So the onions, they're already pretty tender, but like we were saying earlier, we're gonna caramelize them. I'm actually gonna pick out this little broccoli stalk leaf. Just don't want that in there. I'm sure it's healthy, but it's not an ingredient list. Sorry, broccoli stalk. Yeah, so then you're gonna warm the tortillas while this is cooking. So what I'm gonna do is move you guys again because you're on my tortilla pan. So it says to use it in the microwave, which you can do. That's quick. What if you do that in the microwave? I'd recommend putting a very damp, not very damp, very lightly damp paper towel on the tortilla, and that'll help it from drying out and make it taste a little more fresh. But typically, microwave tortillas, it's great if you're in a pinch. I'm guilty. I do it all the time. But on the stove, oh, that's where it's at. So I'm going to point you towards the comal. So if you have a comal, which is just a little pan, or like the cast iron, you can do that as well. So I'm gonna get that just on 5. You don't need it too hot. So like I said, you could burn the bottom and then start deforming it. And so this one's pretty good. It doesn't wiggle, but if you ever notice your pan really shakes a lot, it's starting to get like deformed on the bottom because it gets too hot. So you kind of want to avoid that. Ooh, it's actually cooking really fast. You want to keep stirring the veggies so they don't burn. These onions are looking bomb. I love this. All right, so I'm actually gonna turn this off. So they'll still kind of cook because the pan, of course, is still hot. And then the finish should still be able to reduce just from the heat from the pan itself. And then I'm gonna let this one warm up. If you ever want to find out if the pan is ready to cook on and you don't want to put your finger on it or like put your hand above it just to feel the heat because it's kind of scary. I burn my fingers a lot. You can get, you can wet your fingertips and just sprinkle the little drops on there and they sizzle, you're good. The pan is hot. I'm gonna put you right here. Tea time. No, we're not doing tea today. That's next time. All right, you can actually kind of see pretty good right here. Perfect. So the veggies are nice and sauteed. Whew, this looks good. And then we're actually gonna put the eggs in here as well. So you can always cook them in separate containers, but I don't know why you would typically, because if you cook them all in the same pan, then it's really gonna collect that flavor that the vegetable is kind of like emitted. Is that the word? I don't know, but it'll work very good. So this is still kind of going, not really warm yet, but we're gonna get our egg mixture. We're not gonna put the spinach yet. We're gonna put that in, pour it in. Honestly, I forgot the egg mixture, so I'm gonna turn the stove back on because I don't think the heat from the pan is gonna cook it good enough. But once you hear that sizzle, she's good. And if you want really good scrambled eggs, never stop like stirring them. So I'm gonna tilt you guys up a little bit so you just, there you go. So literally just constantly be moving them, especially if the pan's already hot. Since I turned it off, it probably lost a little bit of heat, but that'll keep it from sticking as well as get it from like overcooked because you're constantly gonna be turning and getting new egg cooked, if that makes sense. And with scrambled eggs, you can never go wrong because some people like them a little more runny. Some people like more firm. So just up to your preference, of course. It all just depends. Let's get this a little higher. It's almost ready for the tortilla. And then at this point, since they're starting to melt, I'm gonna put the cheese in there as well. Because if you put the cheese right away, it could just sink to the bottom, which probably isn't a problem. But in my head, it just means like, okay, the cheese is gonna burn to the bottom first, which probably is very inaccurate, but it makes sense in my head. And like I said, I'm crazy, so let me try and open this cheese. Oh man, there we go. So sprinkle as much cheese as you want. I like using, this is Colby Jack. I cook with Colby Jack a lot, but I also love pepper jack. I love some spice in there. It's just amazing. Oh, that sizzle, perfect. Another little fun fact, this one's about cheese. So if you are using pre-shredded cheese, typically that cheese is very good for like nachos or putting on bean dip, or anything you're not gonna melt because pre-shredded cheese comes with, it's like a, I don't want to say a wax layer, but they put an additive on it so it doesn't all like stick together and melt. So like for this, I think it'll melt fine since it's with the egg and the egg's kind of runny, so it'll kind of melt everything pretty quick. But typically pre-shredded cheese does not melt as quick or as efficient as if you shredded it yourself. So it's a little tidbit. Sometimes you like to save time and buy pre-shredded cheese. But sometimes if you just go the extra mile and shred it yourself, that's where it counts. Perfect. Now we're gonna add the spinach. Dang, that's like barely nothing. But pretend I put more. So it's gonna go ahead and reduce down really quickly. And these eggs are like done. Oh. Yeah, I'm gonna turn it off because they're still gonna cook in the pan a little bit, but I still want them to be like really firm. Oh, perfect. Ready for our tortilla. I'm gonna turn it up a little bit actually. So like I said, we have flour ones here. You get some extra fiber, which is really good. If you don't like, or if you're gluten intolerant, use corn tortillas. Corn tortillas are actually a little bit healthier in the sense that they aren't as processed as much, but they also have more fiber. So that always helps. So we're just gonna go ahead, throw this on there. I haven't cooked with the flour tortilla or like a whole wheat one in a while, so I'm pretty sure we'll cook the same since they're already like pre-cooked. But the way I like to do it is once you get like a bubble in it, that's when it's good to flip it. And it makes it a little bit crispy too. All right, so since the eggs are already cooked, I'm also gonna salt and pepper them as well. And I have time, so I'm gonna try and figure out how to open these things because this is ridiculous. Dominic, you could open this. Sea salt, perfect. Oh, these are big grains of sea salt. Hold on 1 second, please. So I actually carry salt and pepper in my bag at all times. So I'm just gonna go ahead and use this because the grains in this one are just a little big. If we're using this in like a soup or anything liquidy, they'll dissolve really well. But I'm just gonna use like mine just to save time, all that stuff. Or if you have a little grinder, you can do that too. So with the salt, just go ahead. This is all one, yeah. Salt it. Mine comes out kind of slowly since it only has 3 little holes. Pretend I put more and we're golden. Same with the pepper. Just gonna go ahead with some pepper. It's all to taste, of course. So some people have a higher, I guess, tolerance to salt and pepper than others. And then with our tortilla, we're just gonna go ahead and flip it. Yeah, I think since it's whole grain or whole wheat, it's not gonna bubble up the stain just because the grains are a little bit thicker because they weren't processed as much. So if you have like the white tortillas, the whole, or like the regular tortillas, you'll be good. But same with these are fine too. Oh, hi Alex, welcome back. Welcome to my show, Cooking with Dom, right? All right, so gonna go ahead, cook that for a little bit longer. The eggs are looking golden. Let's see if we have any hot sauce in the fridge, guys. We got some jalapenos, some orange chicken sauce. Is that the next video? I don't know, Danielle and Megan, you tell me. And then we got some sweet and sour. Ooh, that sounds really good, actually. Wow. All right. Well, no tapatio, that's fine. I should have brought one from home, but I like to add that little extra kick. But you could honestly make these however you want. If you want a spicy, add hot sauce, or even if you want to add like hoisin sauce. It's not the most traditional sauce to put on eggs, but it gives it like a little sweet taste, but also like kind of tangy, which is good. Sriracha will give it some spice as well. All right, perfect. That's tortilla. Good. Let me open the oven and get my plate out. People probably don't hear that too often. All right, got my plate. And the recipe calls for 2 tortillas, but I don't want to waste any more. But this definitely will feed 2 people. But if you do just want it for yourself, you just want 1, you could cut the recipe in half. Instead of doing 4 eggs, just do 2 and kind of just divide everything in half. So this one's, yeah, don't touch it, but sorry. Oh, my bad. So we're gonna go ahead and plate this. Let me move y'all over again. You're probably getting a headache. I'm sorry. Move my little teapot. All right, we got our tortilla right here. And even if you want to put like cheese on the bottom of this, do that too. If you got beans, refried beans are really good. Help pull it all together, give some extra fiber, protein. It's good stuff. So with this, I'm just gonna put a little bit so I don't embarrass myself on Zoom trying to fold it. Let's see, that's a good amount, a little more. And a little more. And a little, no, I'm kidding. All right, so we got our little wrap. So you can eat it like a taco if you want, or if you do want to wrap it. Let's learn how to wrap a burrito. So if you have a big enough tortilla, that's one of the reasons I didn't fill it up all the way so I could show y'all. But if it's really big, like the taco truck ones, no problem, just stuff everything in there. Since this is a whole wheat, they typically, in my experience, do not fold as easily because they kind of break a little bit more. just because they're not as processed. So the tortilla is a little thicker in a way. So we're gonna go ahead and try our best. So what we're gonna do is kind of line everything up, single file line. You can kind of flip it up to get it nice and even. Use your finger, fork, whatever you want. Go ahead and grab the ends and then just pull her. I like to pull it all the way to that end and then pull back, and that'll kind of, oh, this is really bad. I'm sorry. Embarrassing. It's gonna break on me. Oh yeah, this is embarrassing. Everybody, I promise I know how to wrap a burrito. But there you go. Like, we got two beautiful ends. If you just want to open it, add sauce or, oh, my phone, the battery, awkward. We're back. All right, so if you just wanted to open one end, do the same thing, get it nice on one side. Ba-da-bam, ba-da-bam. If you don't want like both ends closed, same idea. Just fold it. Oh, she's opening up. Burrito, what's doing? Well, there you have it. The picture on the recipe looks a little bit better than that, but I promise the flavor is just as good if you go ahead and season it to whatever you like. Fresh garlic, like I said earlier, bomb, just it's great. I think honestly that's it. Let me check on everything else. Yeah, that should be it. All right. Does anybody have any questions? I hope people came, so I'm just not talking to you guys. You're probably like, oh, I never want to hear from Dominic again. Keep him at the rec center over there. Like, man. Let me put you guys up real quick. Welcome to my kitchen.
Thank you so much, Dominic, for preparing these recipes with us. You made it look so easy, and we loved your tips and tricks. I can't wait to try them myself. We wanted to thank everyone for joining us today. Our next NOONtrition activity is planned for September 24th at noon. So I hope that you are all able to join us and have a great weekend.